So, in case anyone hasn't figured it out, that actually knows Bill Shivers is here, our guest today on the Double Take, the podcast episode.
Real pleasure to be here.
I was before we started, trying to return a text to my wife. And,
okay.
And you're just foaming at the mouth over there like you always do.
The
thing about it, Chris will get to talk in a minute, maybe.
Right, maybe.
But you and I have always had a fun connection because we're both loud.
Yeah,
and
I have been told that I'm loud.
But we don't realize it. I don't realize it. I don't. Even when I sing, I don't realize I'm loud.
People always tell me I can always hear you before I see you, and I'm like, what? What does that mean? Am I supposed to be happy about that?
Scott Howard, because Scott Howard when he was with Legacy 5. We did those. That you remember that?
Right.
I don't even know what it was called because it was. I came in on the tail end of that.
Across America.
Yeah.
And we walked into. Quartet
Across America.
Chris knows everything about gospel music.
Look at you.
We walked in somewhere, and he said, well, we ain't even got in the room, and Howie said, well, there's old Loud Bill.
Absolutely. You know what? I take that as a badge of honor.
Amen.
Because I'm joyful. I'm joyous.
You are. You're a joyful human being.
I can be too joyful sometimes.
I remember that because they had that quartet across America at the Greenbrier.
Yeah.
And the first year they had a bunch of different groups. When I was with the Kingsmen, we were there, and Legacy 5 and Brian, all y'all were there. Mm-hmm. But then the next year, they just had Brian Free Insurance and Legacy 5 and Tribute and the people they really wanted there. The second year,
go that far.
So I only got to participate in it.
It was good. Paul Howell was there
the first year
and all that stuff. So it was amazing. I
think
love
but y'all shot a video and everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You weren't there, Chris?
No, I wasn't there.
Why not?
They didn't want him to be there.
They didn't have us there.
Well,
that wasn't
I couldn't just show up, Bill.
You know what that was,
if it was if I had anything to do with it,
I know
you
would have.
I promise you. Now, Josh,
that's what he tells everybody.
I don't
exactly.
know.
Exactly.
I have a photo from when we were there, a back shot of all the quartets was in my phone somewhere. I don't want to look it up right now because I know the people can't see it that's listening right now, but if they could.
If they could,
just visualize.
We'd wait on you.
It's a half circle
in
all the quartets.
And
I know you'd show it.
You know what was neat? That they had that DJ, they had the thing set up. I mean, they put a lot into that.
They did.
When I walked out there, I was like, well, this is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Then Brian Free Insurance sang, and I went, well.
Yeah.
So what we do on this, you don't, and a lot of people still don't know about
What is this even called?
It's called Double Take.
Double Take.
Double Take, the podcast. 'Cause you don't know this, but see, do you remember
I
Double
remember
Take
the
Live?
old, that photo was.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was ahead of its time.
It was.
At that time.
Yeah.
That was in the audience and on stage.
That was before Photoshop.
Yeah.
So we were trying to think of names, and that seemed to be a cool one to do. So that's what it's called. But what we're trying to do is get into the backstories of how a singer got involved, how an artist got involved in the industry.
See y'all later.
Well,
just kidding.
The influences growing up, the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to find out. And I
name,
thought,
rank, serial number,
Social Security number, and sign here, please.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you because you didn't come from the typical Southern gospel world background.
No.
I remember. So when I heard of you, was when
heard of me.
Yes, this is the truth. When I heard of you, because I knew Brian a little,
right?
But then I got to know Brian pretty well when Brian brought the quartet back.
Yeah.
He had Brian Free Insurance, and then
he went
started out trio. Then
did
the quartet, and always had a great group. And then he wanted to do some solo, so he did the solo thing and some ministering during that time.
Right.
And then he was bringing back the quartet.
And I've been back since.
Yeah, exactly.
And
he hired Bill Lawrence.
Yeah.
To sing bass, and Bill and I were very close.
Were y'all in a group together? Is that how that
Bill
works?
sang bass with my mom and dad.
Oh, okay.
So not too
that's
long
the
after.
Connection.
But see, the thing about it's kind of a neat thing because Bill Lawrence didn't come from a gospel music background either. He grew up.
Does Chris know who Bill Lawrence is?
Yeah, absolutely. Chris knows who everybody is. You will find this out. He knows. He probably knows things about you that you don't even know about you.
You know me better than me.
I'm going to tell you something in a minute that you won't remember, but we'll get to that in a minute.
So, and the other thing is we will totally get off topic. So when we get on one, let's try to stay. And I know that's
I'm a
tough.
rabbit. And I'm a rabbit chaser.
So Bill he got the job with you guys.
Yeah.
And he said, of course, I was a young singer at the time. That was my early 20s.
Making me feel you.
And well, you were young too then at that point.
Yeah, a little young.
But I said, man, well, I'd like to get a shot at one of those middle spots. He said, I wish you could too, but he's already got them covered with these two guys. And he said, and Bill said, I got to tell you something. This lead singer's mind blowing.
Bill said that?
Yeah.
I need to call him.
Yeah.
You owe him some money, probably.
I owe him something.
So I thought, whatever. And I really did, whatever. Okay. And then he sent me, or somehow he said they sang with Heaven Bound.
Yeah.
So at that time, there was still a single out of Heaven Bound. And I called it, and oh, my goodness.
I'm going there. That's probably the very last one we did.
It was, I just went, goodness gracious.
Well, thank you.
Well,
Josh.
The thing about it is the range that you have, the quality of the vocal that you have, and we'll get into all of that in a minute. But that was my introduction to Bill Shivers, and then I came to see you guys shortly after, and we got to talk and kind of got to know, and then when I got involved with not too long after that, started singing with Gary.
Right.
And
exactly.
we all got to hang out more. So it's just been
it's
been one of those
things. So you're not a whole lot younger than me.
Not a lot. I'm 48. What are you, about 63? No, what, you're mid early 50s?
Yeah, 55.
Yeah.
I said 55.
I know.
I feel like 85 sometimes.
Well, I'm 2 years from that 50 mark, and I can feel it.
Heart.
One of those things. Yeah.
I'm just glad one of us looks young.
I know. You look great.
I was there that night. I was there your first night in Winston-Salem.
So did you see my knees shaking?
Well, so it's a funny story, but I'll tell some of the short story. I'll give you the abbreviated version. So I was studying voice with Brian when he was doing the solo thing, right before he started the group.
Okay.
He took on some vocal students on the side. Well, one day when we were in Fred Standiford's studio down in Powder Springs, that's where we did our lessons.
I came over there a couple of times.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
So
he had that radar.
Yeah.
It was before Pro Tools and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's called radar.
Yeah, it's cool.
But Brian took a phone call, and I remember him discussing group members. I remember him discussing Bill. He didn't say Bill's name, but they were. He said, "Well, this is what I'm looking for. You know, if you hear of anybody or this." So I kind of. Looking back now, I mean, I realized
he was a teenager, probably.
Yeah, I was 15, 16.
Oh,
wow.
My goodness. I should have never said that.
Yeah.
I didn't need to know that, Chris.
But little did I know, he was putting the group back together.
Yeah.
And so it just so happened, he was billed as a soloist on the Ray Flynn concert at New Year's. But then by the time the news came out, they started advertising, well, this is going to be the debut of the new Brian Free Assurance. And so I was there your first night. Wow. Y'all sang "There Will Come a Day" and brought down the house.
That was the very first single that we did.
What a great song!
Yeah,
and I think y'all are doing that again now. So
we have brought it back.
So it's funny. I just walked in this morning, and he was hitting tracks, and he did all it was da da da.
And you know what exactly?
Immediately, I went up. I said, I hope y'all sing that. And he said, we're actually staging it again. So
we have been. We have been.
It's a great
what an incredible song.
Y'all had to sing it twice that night.
It was, I know.
That was such a...
And that was the night that young boy come up on stage and did Looking for a City with Brian. I could have swore he had that young man, set up. But he swears to this day. It was. And that young kid, who is he and where is he?
Don't know
if you're out there right now and listening to this, I want to know who you are, because you got to be at least 30 now, because that's
how
been
many
24.
years have you been?
He was a kid. He was probably
almost
8 or 9 then.
Yeah, so he's got to be. So
that
if
would
you're
be
out there,
interesting. We need to track him down.
He killed it.
That would be neat to see.
It really would.
If it's anybody we know, or if it's. Anyway,
but I remember when Bill introduced Brian that night. As soon as Bill opened his mouth, Lawrence. As soon as he opened his mouth, everybody went. They could not believe. I mean, you heard the whole building. Heard 15,000 people say,
one of the most freakish voices.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I know.
So the story with Bill, he didn't get saved until he was 30, in his early 30s. He had never been churched. So his mom and dad, Bill was adopted, and his mom and dad. His dad would always watch the Less's program, Jubilee.
Gospel Singing Jubilee.
And that's how Bill had a little bit of knowledge on that.
Right.
But they weren't churched, and he ended up getting saved. And then pastor said, "Bill, with your voice, can you sing?" He's like, "Okay, you know." He said, "No, you've got to be able to sing with that voice." So he gave him a Gold City cassette, and Bill started listening to it and went and bought Gold City Cathedrals and Kingsman, and just started working on it. And it wasn't 2 or 3 years after that he met my mom and dad.
And started singing with
and started singing, and I think I was 12 or 13 years old.
Was you singing with him?
No, I was 12. I was playing the drums.
Oh, okay.
12 or 13 years old, and one night they were practicing, and the baritone was having a tough time getting his part, and I was standing back there behind it because it would frustrate me because I could hear the parts. Nobody knew it. I mean, I didn't because I wasn't going to sing. I played drums. I get it. And I was singing along with the part, like, why can't you get that? And Bill said, "Why are you not singing?" So he was a big influence in getting me to sing. Yeah. So that's how that all went.
He hijacked your story.
I did. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
But that was the start. So Bill and I we've always had a close connection.
Right. And I love Bill.
He's just
I still talk to him on occasion.
He came to see us in Memphis when we were there.
Right.
Just because he happened to be in town and he had to leave and go. It was pitiful. We talked about it on another podcast, but he had to leave, go to the airport.
Yeah.
And he only heard one song and he had to go.
Right.
And his flight got delayed and he was still there the next day.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that.
Bless his heart. That was terrible.
So back to the
back. I told you we'd chase a rabbit.
We'll chase a rabbit. We'll chase a
back
squirrel.
to this, Bill.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
So you're from Tifton, Georgia.
Tifton, Georgia. That's my hometown.
Right.
Yep.
That's your
South
home. That's
Georgia.
where born and raised.
Yeah, right below the gnat line. So we got plenty of gnats. If anybody needs any, take them with you. We don't want them, but they're there.
So kind of give us a background of how you grew up. What was your background? How did you discover music and gospel music specifically?
I was blessed to be brought up in a Christian home. We went to a little Pentecostal church, Church of God of Prophecy.
There you go.
And so, man, we shouted the house down.
Y'all got with it.
Yeah. I didn't really know that this was a thing. That Southern gospel music was a thing. I just knew there was gospel music, Christian music, whatever. Both my parents, they loved this. They would sing in church, and someone would play for them. And we watched gospel singing Jubilee.
Yeah.
Every Sunday morning. That was a ritual at our house.
Yeah.
Every Sunday morning, you had to watch gospel singing Jubilee. It was just on.
Yeah.
And my dad had records. He had records of Kingsman. He had records of Inspirations. He had the Cathedrals, all different. His favorite group, though, it wasn't necessarily a gospel group. It was the Statler Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
And we had one of those back in those days. It was like a piece of furniture. You'd have the big.
Absolutely.
It was made out of wood, and you lift the thing up, and it had the turntable in, and it would have the 8-track player and the radio.
Those are back now. They're doing those again, and they're so expensive.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
that.
crazy money.
But I would throw one on there, and I'd listen to that, and I was influenced by gospel singing Jubilee and listening to those records.
All right.
And that's how I was. And of course, we would have a group that would come in on certain homecomings. And when I was just a little boy, I just remember thinking, man, that is so awesome. But I didn't realize that what I was seeing was an industry. An industry.
A genre of music.
That you could actually do this. And I had no clue. All these many years later that I would be doing it. It was definitely a God thing. And, but, yeah.
So what were you saying? Like when you started singing, were you singing any gospel music?
Well, one of my friends that went to church there.
How old were you?
I was 14.
Okay.
15 maybe. He said, "Hey man, would you sing a song with me?" It was the preacher's son.
Yeah.
And they had a little family group there at the church. And I said, "Man, I don't know. Mama and Dad always asked me to come sing, but I never would. I was so just." Like a little in my turtle shell.
Especially, unless it's the guys especially.
Yeah, and I was just so timid. And but anyway, he talked me into
timid. You were timid,
believe it or not. As loud as I am, I'm making up for it now. But he taught me into learning to play the guitar. So one of the guitar players, he taught me some chords, and me and him learned a couple of songs, and I started playing, and not really singing, but playing for him.
Yeah.
And then while I was playing for him, I would hear a part, and I would just start. I know you can't see what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm acting like I'm playing the guitar right now. But I would sing along. And he said, "Hey, man, sing a little bit louder." I'm like, "Oh, no. It's up." And anyway, but we learned a few songs, and we started singing at church every now and again. But then after that, it was just spotty. And
so, what were the musical after that? What were your musical influences? What was it? The music that you listened to that you?
I loved country music back then, and I loved rock and roll.
Yeah,
Elvis was one of my huge influence on me. Man, yeah. I used to. I've told this story I don't know how many times, but my sister, she had a little Mickey Mouse. One of those record players that you carry like a little briefcase, and you open it up, flip it up. And Mama loved some Elvis and Conway Twitty.
Really?
Oh my! So and I forget the other guy's name. Anyway, and I would put on Elvis, and I would sit there and I'd listen to all them songs. And we had them. We lived in an old house and it had those crystal doorknobs, and they would come apart. And I'd take that doorknob off, and I'd act like that was my microphone. I was singing on that crystal doorknob. Singing some blue suede shoes.
So that had to be early.
I promise you, that's a true story.
That can't be in your 20s. That had to be early. Like
I was probably 10.
Okay, good, because I was not getting it.
Nobody was witnessing this but me and the Lord.
And thank God there wasn't camcorders back then or iPhones with video.
Oh my Lord,
that's hilarious. So you went from that. So after you started singing playing and singing,
I moved to Bainbridge, Georgia, which is even farther south, and I started singing with a family group, which they didn't even need a singer. They needed a drummer.
Yeah.
But there was a pretty girl in the group that I liked.
Could you play drums?
No, I couldn't play drums a lick.
But you didn't let them know that.
I could play because I went to church with them.
That's awesome.
No, I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but anyway, I started playing drums with them, and I would sing along because we would rehearse three times a week. They'd set the camcorder in the back of the church.
If full-time professional singers rehearsed as much as regional artists and local artists do, can you imagine how good we would be?
Man, it'd be incredibly good.
Because we just don't, but they do. And we did. That's
man.
what we did because we wanted it to be right.
And we would critique ourselves. Yeah. They'd put that camcorder back. We'd watch it back. Man, we'd just analyze.
Yep.
We didn't have tracks. It was just
it's whatever you
the piano, and I played the drums, and one of the little boys, one of the sons in the group played the bass.
Could you actually play? Did you learn to play?
I knew a little bit.
Okay.
I knew how to keep time. I wasn't really what you would say a drummer is. Yeah, but anyway, there was a pretty girl in the group.
Yeah. And you sang along. That's another thing that's hard to do is sing while playing drums.
While they were rehearsing one night, and they said, "Hey, why don't we put you a mic back there?" And I was like, I don't know. Yeah, let's just try it.
Yeah.
Because I was hearing a part that there wasn't singing. There was 5 of us, and there was only 2 songs. So,
you put that third part of that. Like, what is this? What is this part we've never heard?
What is this sorcery? But anyway, so that's how I started. I'm sorry, guys.
That's funny.
But yeah, and then it started from there. And then I started playing the drums because one of the other kids got old enough to play the drums, so he went to the drums. I started playing guitar and standing behind the mic.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of progressed. And then from there, we sung with. We was actually with Eddie Crook. We did an album on Harvest label it must have been the early 90s.
Yeah.
Probably.
So you did kind of come up in steps
at that point,
in that. Yeah.
Exactly. But I didn't.
You still didn't know what you were doing.
Still didn't know.
Well, you're a little slow.
I'm South Georgia.
Coming from somebody from Alabama, that's a real insult.
So after that, we sing. You know how local groups they'll sing with professional groups. Yeah. What we call professional
That's
groups.
Why I always say how important those local and regional groups are. Keep doing it. Keep working at it.
Absolutely.
Try perfect your craft. Do all that you can. If you want to do this at the level that we do it, keep doing that because you will get noticed.
That's right.
And this industry needs the talent.
They do. Absolutely. And but that's how it happened. We sang with different artists, and then they would say, "Hey, whenever if you're not going to do this here, would you be willing to do this?" And so we sang with a group called Harmony Creek, which was from Bonifay, Florida. Steve White and Philip Hughes was part of that group.
That's where Chris was going. Philip Hughes.
I was telling him some Philip stories yesterday.
Oh, I love Philip. I miss him.
Philip told a story about you. He told me one time. He said I took Bill into this studio. This man
Dothan, Alabama.
Dothan.
Wildwood Recorders.
You tell the story.
Go ahead. I don't know the story.
No, you tell it.
I have no idea what the story is.
Well, he said I took Bill in there and he said I told the engineer. He said, now this guy, I got this guy. He's ain't nobody ever heard of him before. Said, but he is a killer singer.
He's got a great mustache.
Yeah,
that's what mustaches were. Yeah, come on now. Anybody seen Tombstone?
And I'm sure that engineer was like, yeah, okay, I hear this all the time. Philip's like, no, he said, you just have to, you'll believe me when you hear him. And so he said, okay, well, just, when you want to do this. He said, well, I'm going to bring him in, So evidently y'all went in, you cut something, a song or two or whatever, demo. I don't know what it was.
Philip wrote.
Oh,
it was a song that we
okay.
But it wasn't gospel. It was.
Right. Yeah. So it was just a demo for something y'all
That's
had
the thing
written.
about it. You were singing other stuff.
Absolutely.
That's what I wanted you to get into too. And we'll come back to
rock
that.
And all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
With different folks, but yeah.
Well, to me, that explains a lot of your style and your voice and what you're capable of doing. We'll get into that in a second. Finish the story.
But Philip said when y'all left the studio, he said that guy pulled him to the side. He said, "Listen, you bring him back anytime." He said, "You was right. That man can sing."
His name was I can't remember his last name right now off the top of my head, but yeah, when Philip, I was working at a body shop, and I used to smoke.
Wow.
So he come up to me, and I was actually doing something on a car, put some Bondo on or something like that. And this is in between me being in groups and stuff. And he come up to me, hey, Bo. I didn't know who. I had a cigarette about 2 foot long sticking out. And he said, hey, Bo. And I was like, I looked up at him. If you know Philip, you can feel me right now.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, I hear you sing. And I said, yeah, I sing a little bit. He said, well, you won't be singing long if you keep smoking.
That sounds exactly like something
who is this guy?
Yeah. I appreciate your encouragement.
And we hit it off that day. And the rest is history. I mean, I sang with him and Steve with Harmony Creek for 2 or 3 years. And then he was in, the Kingsmen. He was in a bunch of different groups as well. So
from the voice side of things, that's what I want to talk about, because there were, when I heard you, there was just a style there that we're not used to in this industry.
Right.
Tell me those influences that you were doing in that singing and whatever they were. I don't care if it's Alice Cooper,
Steve Perry.
Yeah, that's instantly
Sammy
what I thought.
Hagar.
It was those singers.
Yeah, that type of singer.
Yeah.
And but I love Vince Gill. I love Garth Brooks.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I always say when
I like George Jones.
Absolutely.
I love that quality.
That's a great voice.
Frank Sinatra. I have a huge. I love so many different genres of music.
That's why
different
it shows
jazz
up.
stuff.
It's just a melting pot of
it's just all different stuff. And I
love it.
I used to try to sound like Elvis. I used to try to sound like Vince Gill. I used to try to sound like Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
You can't do that, though.
No, but you're doing, when you're trying all those different things, what you're doing is you're exposing different aspects of your voice.
Exactly.
Different areas of your voice that a lot of people, they think they can do one thing.
Well, right. But it's not a one-trick pony.
That's why it's important. Well, when I started going to Brett Manning, that was he started throwing all these different singers at me.
Yeah.
I mean, like Steve Perry, Jimmy Necco. If you've never heard Jimmy,
I've heard.
Ours,
Yes,
Jimmy
sir,
Necco, one of the most incredible voices you ever heard and things you do. But it opened up so much more of my voice, and that's it. It kind of hit me.
I didn't even realize what I was doing at the point, but when I was doing that, I was conditioning my voice.
Exactly.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you're opening your mind to things outside of what of us
different
that
placements
grew up.
in singing and different the ways you sing, because it all matters, I suppose.
Did you ever do any formal voice training?
None.
Yeah.
Brian's told me some stuff.
Yeah, Brian can really help.
I've picked up on a few things. I've looked at stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
But most of that stuff hurts me more than it helps me. I'll be honest.
Well, it's very natural for you.
I just try to, I don't know. I just praise God that I've been able to do it as long as I have.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep doing it.
Well, and the other thing, Steve Perry's probably one of the greatest vocalists to listen to for a high singer.
Oh my word!
Absolutely.
Yes.
What he does is he stays in that he sings in a pharyngeal tone all the time, and you can do it effortlessly.
How does he do it?
Yeah.
How does he do it?
Well, that fascinates me. So that was the thing.
Yeah.
When I heard you, I went, "This is crazy what you were doing," because you still had fullness, you still had power.
Oh, thank you, Josh.
And you were high as a kite. So
it's getting harder and harder, Josh.
Well, you had to be
55 now, man.
I was gonna say you've been doing something right to still have that range at 55. That's awesome,
man. Well, you got to have a huge range with Brian. He's a freak of nature,
yeah.
man.
And this one is too. And it's that Gold City, because Brian set the tone for all that.
Y'all make me sick.
Well, whatever. But Brian Free set the tone for that back then.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and then they had to stay in that range with what they were doing, and it has got some singers.
Killing it.
Well,
you're
I'm
killing
doing,
it, Josh.
we're just trying to do.
We
are, and we mean this when we say it.
I love you guys. Y'all sound incredible.
Well, you've always been a great encouragement.
I appreciate y'all.
But what we are doing, because not so much Danny grew up in it. It was just life to him. But for Chris and me and Jeff and Terry playing the piano,
man, y'all sound incredible.
The Brian, Ivan, Gary era.
Oh yeah.
They're legends to us.
Absolutely.
So
me too.
We always would individually strive for what they were doing back then, and now we want to honor what they did. Right. We want to do that when we do it. We want to do that.
Absolutely.
We can't be them.
Just think of this, y'all. Back then, there was no tuners.
No,
none.
But what?
There was nobody.
So this will blow your mind.
That's how perfect those guys were. I listened to some of those old stuff. I'm thinking, how in the world did they do that?
Yeah. Just think of Acapella Gold. That was all done.
That's a masterpiece.
That was all done on
to me, that's a masterpiece.
There was no Pro Tools. It is a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece.
It's
unbelievable.
One of the greatest recordings of all time.
Absolutely. And
no tuning.
No tuning. So when we
how many takes did it take you?
Not a lot. When we went back and picked up Pillars of Faith, we did some Pillars of Faith live things.
Right.
When Gary came back to start producing. And we released it on vinyl and put it on streaming. But we sent for this album we're working on now, that's kind of a legacy album of 45 years. Gary had the idea to do If God Be For Us, but to take that original Larry Goss orchestration that he and Gary worked on, take that orchestration, because it's incredible, and do a new track under it, and he put it together. So we had to send the original tape off to be baked and digitized.
Are you serious?
So Danny got it all back. Well, he's got the original vocals.
Oh my goodness.
He's got the original vocals, and there's a neat surprise that'll be on there too. But he had them there in front of him, and there wasn't any stacks.
It was just.
So he said
one pass.
There probably was some stacks somewhere, but there wasn't on that they probably got replaced or something.
Yeah. How about that?
So they're doing all that with no tuning and no stacks.
That's incredible.
It's absolutely crazy.
Me sick.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
When I see Ivan, I'm going to slap him. Next time I see you, Ivan.
A funny Brian Free story. This is hilarious. After tuning was a thing, Gary was producing something. This would have been later on, probably when you were there.
Hey, don't tell him.
I've
been there almost 24 years.
Gary knew how to manipulate Brian as far as him in the studio.
Right,
he knew to. Gary was a master, and you know this.
Absolutely.
Of work, whatever you needed. If you needed encouragement, with me, he needed to kick my teeth in.
Me too.
That's
how I was.
We were
and he would say, "Bill, ding, ding, ding. This is a note, Bill. Ding, ding, ding. Not this one. Ding,
right here, because we would hear. Because we would hear the other.
Those half notes.
Thank God you said that, because when I went with them, he did that all the time, and nobody else never does it.
Thank you, Gary.
Well, Gary did things differently, but he would do the half note movements.
Yes,
that was not.
You don't necessarily hear it.
No,
I didn't.
I went home after my first day in the studio with him, first experience in the studio. I went home and sat at the keyboard, and all I did was go back and forth. So that because it wasn't going to happen again.
Right.
He was kind to me about it, but it embarrassed me that I couldn't get it, because I always prided myself that I could hear it. It wasn't a problem to hear any of that
stuff.
That
didn't embarrass me. It just made me mad.
But
shut up, Gary. I can hear it, and then I go in there and miss it.
Well, see, my thing with him would be, that ain't gonna sound good, and then I'd hear it and be like,
okay,
on it, okay,
you were right
again, John. But he was a master at whatever you needed. If you needed encouragement,
absolutely,
he would do that till he got what he wanted out of you.
Yeah, yeah.
And
what a genius.
So
genius.
With Brian, he knew what to do. So Brian was having an issue with a pitch on something, which was rare.
Right.
Gary went, "Hey Brian," after about 3 or 4 tries, he said, "Hey Brian, look, that was close enough. We'll fix it."
You
know
never
Brian.
Say that to Brian.
You know Brian.
You never say no.
Brian. He said Brian whipped his headphones off and said,
"Do it again. You do it again. I don't need no machine singing for me."
I can see him in my mind's eye right now saying that. I ain't gonna let no machine do that.
Ain't no machine gonna sing for me.
Don't tell him, "Oh, that'll mix."
Yeah,
don't say that.
So
that a tune.
And the thing about it was, after that, he nailed it immediately.
Oh, yeah.
But that was Gary. He knew, and it's,
he knew what was going to make you do what you needed to do.
Yeah, it was, and that's what a master producer does.
Absolutely.
We miss him. Man, I miss him. He was a
great guy.
Hey guys, I want to take just a second and let you know about a very neat tour that we have scheduled for later this year called the Hits and Heritage Tour. It's Gold City along with our friends the Hoppers and the fantastic Joseph Habedank. It's going to be a great night and tour of incredible songs. It's called Hits and Heritage for a reason. We are staging the hits of all the songs from, well, not all, it'll take forever for us to do that, but the Gold City songs that you all know so well, the Hopper songs that you know so well, the Joseph Habedank songs that you know so well, not just from Joseph's solo career, but also from his career with the Perrys and singing with other groups. Joseph has had a very long career in this industry. You're going to love this tour. So be watching for the cities that we'll be coming to, and we hope to see you there. So
where we
ended up getting
a lot of rounds.
I know. I told you because you were like, "What are we going to talk about?" I ain't got nothing to talk about. But we're just sitting around talking. That's why it's neat. So from Philip Hughes to Heaven Bound, how did that transition?
Well, like I said before, when you sing, and we were a little more than a regional group, than a local group. So I went from I consider a local group because we sang maybe Georgia, Florida.
Yeah.
Never Alabama, but just so then when I went to, they were called Harmony Creek, Bonifay, Florida. Me, Philip Hughes, Steve White. Sung with them for about 2 years, and we would sing more. We actually stretched out more. We would do North Carolina, we would do Tennessee, we would do Mississippi. We actually did Louisiana, Florida. We was a lot. I'd say regional,
almost
so local, regional.
Yeah,
and we would sing with a lot of different groups.
Yeah,
and so we sang with Heaven Bound in Florida one night, and Ken come up to me, and he said, "If you ever consider going full time," and I was like, "Nah, I don't know. I don't know." He said, "Well, if you ever do, here's my number." And I said, "Okay." And so he said, "Pray about it. If you ever decide to do something," he said, "Just give me a call. If you ever decide to go, if you ever decide you want to go full time."
And they didn't even need anybody at that time.
They didn't need anybody at that time. And so within the next 6 to 8 months, my circumstances changed in my life, and I had choices to make. And so a really dear friend of mine, Craig Singletary, he was singing with the Dixie Melody Boys. So he was getting his feet wet in the full-time ministry as well. And he's like my brother. We sung together, all kinds of stuff. I love Craig. I miss him. I go see him every now and again. He's still in South Georgia, but he's preaching now down
preaching,
in South
and he's been in law enforcement. For
years. He's Georgia State Patrol. So be slow down in Georgia. Craig will pull you over quick.
Those troopers don't play either. So.
Yeah. So, but anyway, he called me. He said, "Bill," he said, "why don't you just call Ken?" And that's who played piano. He was the owner of the group at that time. And I said, "You know what? I got his number right here. I'll call him." And he said, "I'll go talk to him too," because he lived in Kinston, the same place as Dixie Melody Boys.
Yeah.
And so it just worked. That was a God thing.
That's exactly.
And so I called him. Ken said, "Hey, sure, come up. We'll sing around the piano." And so I did. I just drove up there and we tried out. He said, "If you want the job, it's yours." I was like, "Really?" He said, "Sure." He said, "My guy's been wanting to leave for the last 6 months."
Holy smokes!
I mean,
wow.
It ain't like I took someone's place.
Yeah.
Sure.
But so it was really truly a God thing. I never, guys, I'm being honest. I never sought to do what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Never. In gospel music, I never dreamed in a billion years that I would be singing gospel music and sharing, with people all across the nation and the world.
Right.
Doing this, it was definitely God. It was nothing that I had planned. And so that door opened, and I started singing with Heaven Bound. I sang with it for 5 years.
So you were there before Craig came?
Yeah.
Okay.
Craig was still with Dixie Melody Boys, and we were roommates.
How about that?
Wow.
Well, neat. He was with Dixie Melody Boys. I was with Heaven Bound with Ken. And so, and so I was there for about 4 or 5 years, and then I'd heard through Philip that Brian was going to put the group back together, and that he had told Brian about me. And I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" He said, "Yeah, Bo, you gotta go sing with Brian if he needs somebody, if he needs you." I was like, "Huh?" and I'd always told myself, and I'd always respected Brian, and I always respected the sound of the group. I loved the sound of the, I don't know, the songs, the quality of the songs. Sure. And I'd always told myself, if that position ever was to come open, and I didn't realize it was.
Yeah.
But Philip did, and he knows me.
Yeah.
And so that year at convention, when he was looking for people to sing, he actually came to see one of our showcases when I was with Heaven Bound. And Craig looked at me when we was on stage. He's like, "Hey, man, Brian's in the back of the room." I was like, "What? Why are you telling me this?" So that was officially our tryout.
Yeah.
He could have waited till you got done to tell you.
Did Craig have any idea that it could be the both of you?
Yeah, I mean, so he both knew, because he knew that he was reforming the group.
Yeah.
But he didn't, we didn't know really how seriously that we were being considered. It's Brian.
You don't ever know.
Man, he's a legend.
Exactly.
At that point. So, it's a dream come true. And God put it together. When Brian saw us, he came up to us after it was over. He said, "Hey, y'all come to my booth and talk to me."
Yeah.
We talked to him, and we went
there
to
it
his.
was.
Yeah, and we made a connection. We hit it off. It was great. Actually, he asked if we would come down there and meet with him and Bill and sing around the piano, whatever. We sung for 5 minutes. He said, "Okay, guys, I've heard enough." I was like, "We drove 7 hours and you only going to let me sing for 5 minutes?"
You're going to hear what I can do.
So, yeah.
You mean I got the job and you don't even want to hear what I can do?
He said, "If you want a job at Shivers," and Michelle's my wife, she said, "Are you serious?" She said, "You can think about it." She said, "Okay, we'll think about it. We'll take it." So the rest is history. We've been here almost 24 years now.
It's incredible.
That was,
And y'all have done a lot.
Man, we've been around. We've been around everywhere, man. We've gone all over the place, man. I love it. I love Brian. I love what we do. We've had some amazing songs. Met some incredible people along the way. Seen so many people saved and encouraged.
That's the most important.
I'm blessed every night. When we sing the songs we sing, I'm blessed every night.
Speaking of songs, say a little bit about "Say Amen" and kind of how that song has. That's basically your.
Oh, dude.
One of your signature
songs.
I
love
Who did that?
Kenna Turner West.
She wrote that?
She wrote that song. I want to say Jason Cox. And when we first heard the song, it's one of them call and answer songs.
Did you hear the demo?
Oh yeah,
because there's been
there's different
contemporary Christian artists.
Absolutely, Finding Favor actually recorded it on the contemporary side. So and we had no idea.
That's what I was going to say.
It was almost about the same time.
It was like the stars were aligned.
Wow.
Because when we cut it, they did the same thing.
Right.
And so they're a little different versions, a little bit different takes on the song, a little bit different melody, but it's the same song.
Right.
So that didn't hurt.
Yeah.
Because when we started singing it, everybody knows it. Everybody knew the song because it's not that far off that it's not the same. But anyway, when we first heard it, we was like, man, I don't know, but I love it. It's what a wonderful message. We're blessed. How God is faithful. And so when he decided to cut it, he said, "Bill, how you feel about the song?" I was like, I don't, because I'm still timid.
Yeah.
In my little. I know it's hard to believe, but I don't know. I'm not.
Well, that's a song you got.
A rah song, but you got to.
You got to deliver that song.
You have to.
Yeah, and you do.
And Brian's always told me this. He said, when you sing in a song, it's almost like you're an artist. He says, like you're painting a portrait, painting a picture. You're painting
you have to.
Whatever. He said, and deliver that way. Because I was always so I don't know how to act on stage. I don't know how to do my hands. I don't know how to stand. I don't know what to do. I'm like a robot.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Because I played the guitar before that with all the groups, and I stood behind a microphone and I played guitar. That was my security blanket.
Yeah.
I've never had a security blanket here, so I had to stand. And with that kind of song, you have, like you say, you got to deliver it. You can't just stand there and sing the song. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't be as much about. He said, man, just sing the song. Let God work through you. And every what you do is going to be natural. Don't try to make up something. Don't plan on doing something. Don't plan to do something here. Don't plan to do something. Let God work through you, through the song, as you sing the song. And feel the song. Close your eyes. Feel the song. So many people just stand up and sing the song.
Right.
And that makes me so irritated.
Yeah.
Don't just sing the song. Feel the song.
Yeah.
You know? Let the people know what you're feeling. When you hear those words and those lyrics that you're singing, mean them.
Well, it makes you relatable immediately.
It does.
When they see that.
When I do something, that's not planned.
Well, I've got this. Is
honestly, it's not a planned raised hand. Oh, this lyric, I got to raise my hand. No, that ain't it.
There's a lot of in the Christian music world, in the gospel music world, there's a lot of kids that are raised to not be showy.
Right.
That I've dealt with them working with other singers and young people coming up. I had a kid tell me, now you want me to be expressive, but what do you mean? I don't want to come across as showy. I said, well, I hate to break it to you, but worship is showy.
Come on, that'll preach.
When you submit to worship, it's not about you.
No, it's not.
And your movements and what you're doing, if you're
let
expressing
it magnify God.
If you're doing that and somebody's offended by that, it's not you. It's not you that has the.
Oh yeah.
It's not the singer that has the problem. It's that person watching that has the problem.
Right.
So something's not translating there, and it's not always the singer.
Exactly.
So that's expression. Is worship.
It is.
And that's been hard for me because I'm not an expressive person. Josh will tell you.
Buddy, listen, first night that I went out with them, the first night I went out with them, which Gold City in the Bryan years, and in the Bryan years, they had a reputation as stand flat-footed and sing it, and buddy, they did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they would nail it to the wall, and it was absolutely incredible.
Yes.
But me playing the drums and you playing the guitar, we don't. When I started singing, I didn't know what my hands were always moving. So, and then my legs move and all that, and people think
influence.
I get that I get that every night. Somebody comes by and says something about that. I don't ever think about any of that. It's just movement. Well, the first night I went out with these guys, they were standing flat-footed and singing it and doing it. They were nailing it. Jeff was by far the most expressive guy on stage. And I'm all over the place.
Right.
I mean, I can't help it. So
I get it.
Danny said, he said, I love your voice. He said, but your stage presence is mind-blowing. How long did you start? Did you work on that?
Work on it?
I said, man, I ain't ever worked on that. That's just natural. That's just what I do and move. And so anyway, it wasn't too long after that.
You started coming on, baby.
Well, Kirk Talley, who's probably the greatest stage guy that's ever been in this industry, communicator.
Unbelievable. Yes.
He said, man, this group's incredible. He texted me. He said, this group is incredible. God's gospel music needed this.
Yes.
He said, but good grief, you got to work with them boys.
That sounds like it.
So you know what I said? I said, you know what? I think it'd be better if you work with him. So I called Kirk and asked them if they mind Kirk coming in. And they're all like, well, of course.
Really?
So Kirk just came in and gave suggestions.
Okay.
Yeah.
And thoughts.
Took some notes.
That's awesome.
Gave feedback.
And it's not, we don't choreograph. There's no choreography.
No.
We don't do any of that. There's none of that. But now everybody moves and does things.
There we go.
And it's changed things. It helps.
It does
really
help.
helped. And it's helped Chris because it's unnatural to him. He's supposed to stand flat-footed and sing it. And
right.
he does.
And he does.
He can.
But when he has to deliver,
he does it.
Because like you said, would say, man, this is all that has to be delivered. You got to,
Well, what a lot of people don't, what Kirk pointed out to me or to us was that all the, if you're just sitting there raising your hand, that looks very small when you're sitting out in the, if you're sitting in that back row in a 2,000 seat auditorium, that don't look like much.
Well, you get alligator but if you're arms really anyway. Chris is a triceratops, the T-Rex arms. He'll get that in my arms when he gets up. He just gets so upset. Them little hands are just flopping all over the place, and his elbow ain't went out yet. If his elbows come out, you better run.
Oh, it's the spirit hit him, buddy.
But you really do have to be more expressive over the top almost to reach that person in the back row.
You want them to feel what you're saying as well.
Yeah.
So
he came and Kurt came and helped. And he's done that a couple of times, and it's it's awesome that you can have your heroes.
Oh, ain't that great?
That want to do that, because Kurt Talley.
I know, a legend.
There's never been a better on stage person than Kurt, and it was natural for Kurt. That was the thing. It's natural, but now it's for those that it's not natural. Boy, he sure can point us in the. So tell me some of the coolest things you've done. I know Brooklyn Tab.
Man, Brooklyn Tab's up there. Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah,
that was
come on.
One of the biggest moments since I've been here. I was a nervous wreck.
I'm putting you on the spot with this too.
Oh my word!
Yeah, but Brooklyn Tab. That was
Brooklyn
Tab.
That
was a neat thing.
Of course, the Gaither videos.
Yeah.
Those are always amazing.
Sure.
Sing Bill and all those folks are wonderful. I don't, man. We did the San Antonio. What was it called? The whatever that dome is out there in San Antonio.
Really? The Alamo Dome?
Yeah, the Alamo Dome.
Wow.
We've actually sang there for the Church of God, an international
it's crazy.
assembly or whatever that is. That was a huge highlight, and then, just...
Is this so...
Just singing at a small church in rural Georgia.
Yeah.
Is a highlight for me.
Sometimes you can get a bigger blessing out of those type in
when you're singing to a sea of people,
it's hard. You can't even. The lights are so bright. You can't really feel it.
But then when you're right there in that intimate setting with maybe 100 folks there, and you can actually see everyone's face and just see how they're blessed, that's as big a highlight to me as anything. And I don't mean that to sound cliche. It's the truth. Yeah. It's the truth. Yeah. Y'all do it. Y'all know what I'm saying.
There's times that's going. It doesn't matter what level you reach. You're still going to. You still need some of those.
Absolutely.
Because there's a connection there that you can lose if it's huge crowds every night. Even your biggest secular artists will tell you. Yeah. That when they can get in a small room,
more intimate setting,
it's better.
Absolutely, and I agree with that.
Yeah. So where are we going from here?
We're looking for new material now to do a new CD. Man, I've been on like 25, 26 CDs now.
That is amazing.
And done all kind of,
24 years with Brian.
24 years with Brian. This year, at the end of this year, will be 24 years.
Wow.
And we're just looking for songs now, and we're continuing to travel and sing. That's the newest thing right now. We're just looking for new songs for a new project to come out early next year.
Back to a trio.
Yep, back to trio.
Which I love.
For the last 7 or 8 years now we've been trio, and you don't realize how much that bass, kind of can firm up that blend a little bit. You've got to be. I'm not saying you have to be more on point if you're a trio, but you know what I mean. You have to. It's a little different.
Sure. Yeah.
But I've enjoyed being trio.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's where we are right now. I get it.
That's awesome. I love it because that's how Brian started, and it was a different, and he had different music.
Right.
With that first album, I'm gonna stand up. I thought that was the coolest project. Kevin Price.
Yep. Kevin Price. I think Michael English.
Michael did. He helped produce that.
He helped produce that very first album there.
And that was on that. Wasn't it on Chapel?
Chapel.
Absolutely.
It was a Gaither.
And Ivan was on that too.
Yeah.
I think. I got to go hear them after they had left Gold City. They were in Arab, Alabama, and Ivan and Brian for Insurance. Brian came in. Ivan was always busting Brian. So
he does. That's true. Yeah.
So Ivan was I can't remember. I think no, it wasn't. Ivan opened the program.
Okay.
And Brian had come in. And when Brian walked in, he had on one of these suits. You remember back then those suits?
What, 47 buttons?
Well, yes. It buttoned all the way up to the top, and you could barely see the shirt.
Yeah, okay. Did he bust him out?
He said he got through with the song and it caught his eye, and he said, "Hey, Brian." No, he went, "Hey, Brian, I left my bags at the door. Would you take them to my room?"
Are you kidding me? Man, that's priceless. He did that
in the middle of his set. Yes, he stops. He got through. He finished the song, and probably the only reason he finished the song because he just had tracks.
Right.
He probably would have stopped mid song. He said, "Hey, Brian, I left my bags at the back. Could you take them to my room?" Because he looked like a bellhop.
Right off the cuff.
He looked like a bellhop.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
It was over.
I mean, everybody probably died.
Well, think about Brian standing up there in that suit all night with
after
that.
The band.
Oh God. I'd have went and changed clothes.
I would have had to.
I would have had to. Yeah, we'd have done something different at that point. But that was so funny. But they were doing things differently back then. And one thing that Brian has always done, even with his quartet stuff, with Gary Jones producing a lot of that stuff. Gary brought a different element. He could do that different stuff too. But he has always done a little bit different style.
I think it was from that very first one. I think it was Michael's help. Now after that, it was Gary.
Gary for a long time.
All the way up until after about 3 or 4 of our first projects that I was started with the group. He produced for us, and then after, Gary was amazing.
Well, it was just a different sound.
Absolutely.
It was a different sound, and that's why I like it coming back to a trio.
Right.
Because you guys are doing that different, and Ricky does a lot of production now.
Yeah, he's took over for the last
and it's
13
neat.
or 14, 15 projects.
It's neat because even in Ricky's playing the drums when he played back when y'all started,
right.
I can hear that Gold City in his playing.
Absolutely. That influence is there.
That Gary and Taco influence in his playing, and he still has some of that in his production.
Absolutely.
That's cool too. So it's just really neat to see it come full circle back. And man, I won't say this, and I'm a lead singer, and I've sang tenor some with Legacy 5, but I've always been a lead singer mindset. Always.
Right.
There's very few singers lead singers especially that I listen to, and I appreciate them all.
Right. No, I get it.
But there's that I listen to and I look up to, and I think if there's a Mount Rushmore, that guy's on it, and you're on it.
Oh man, that's very kind.
You're an incredible singer. I love you.
Thank you, Josh.
You're an amazing person.
Yes.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for being on.
Thanks,
Chris,
Bill.
Josh, God bless you guys. I love y'all so much. Appreciate you very much. Thanks for having me. That went by so fast.
That's what I'm talking about.
How many minutes was that?
Well, I didn't start recording until we were 15 minutes in, and we're at 44 minutes.
Wow. Now that's how an interview should be, guys.